Hello and welcome to Love Talk. Recently we did a show about the things that men do that annoy women, and today is our time to get revenge.
We shall see.
Because there's a lot of things that women do that also annoy men. It's a two-way street, right? And these are not serious things, but they are things that sometimes they can start a mini war.
Yeah, they can become serious if you're not careful, like we mentioned on our previous show. But I think we can deal with those little things.
That's right. And hopefully today we'll be mentioning things that perhaps you go through in your relationship. You can then say, you see, I told you this would annoy me. And perhaps you can work on that and make things better. But let's see what the people of the streets of London said that women do that annoy men the most. We'll be right back.
Okay, so what do you think women do that can annoy men in relationships?
Don't know, maybe nag. Nag about just little things that end up, I don't know, being really, really small, and then they end up blowing out into a massive argument. But I think that's the main cause.
Women's always nagging when you're at work. They're calling you up, saying where you are, how long you're going to be, you know. I'm self-employed, I'm on a job, I don't know how long I'm going to be. I just give a rough estimate, and she's saying, well, how long, and just making life harder, really.
Not doing the washing up.
Well, she's a bit of a useless cook, so I have to do all the cooking.
That's a very good question. I mean, that's a question a lot of men would be happy to answer. I find that a lot of men do not like a woman that wants to control them, ring them up constantly, not trusting them, always wants to know where they are, what they're doing. It's a form of control that really acts as a put-off towards ladies. Rather than bringing people closer together, it's actually bringing people apart. I think a lot of the time girls do it with all the best intentions, but it's actually driving the man away, not bringing him closer to that woman and closer to her heart.
Right, you saw there what people really think that women do that annoys men, and the ones we have prepared, some of them are quite common.
I mean,
perhaps
the ones you prepared.
That's right, I prepared them myself because I am a victim of some of them.
Let's hear it.
Some of them, but I'm sure that perhaps you as well, you probably have been on the receiving end of this, or if you're a woman, maybe you're the culprit of some of these things, right? But I think number one, and what I want to do today is I want Helena to explain herself as to why women do this.
Oh my God.
The number one thing perhaps that women do that annoy men is to ask that question, what are you thinking about right now? Maybe he's quiet and then you say, but what are you thinking about? What's that about, Helena?
What's that about?
Yes.
I've explained that to you many times before. Well, it's because men tend to be so quiet, with very, very few exceptions, of course. So quiet. You are going out for dinner, or you were just going somewhere together, or you just at home. After dinner, you sit down. You expect some conversation to start, or how was your day? And there's nothing.
What women don't understand is that we men have the ability of not thinking about anything, and they don't understand this. So when you ask a man, what are you thinking about? And he says nothing. He actually means that. He wasn't thinking about anything in particular. And if he was thinking about something important, he would share it with you.
Right. Okay. So there you go, woman. Now you know when they say they are not thinking of anything, it's because they are really not thinking of anything.
And it's annoying but are you sure you're not thinking about anything? To get that question repeatedly is very annoying. Next one in the book. And again, my wife is guilty of this one. When you're watching a movie and it seems like the woman has a radar that when the killer of the movie will be revealed or the most crucial part of the movie will be revealed, she decides to ask you a question and that's it, you've missed it. You don't know who the killer was anymore. What's that about?
Well, the reason why we like to do that, and I'm sure many women will agree with me, it's because, first of all, we were born with this natural instinct, to look after something, so people, women, they have children. So I think we don't do it because we want to be evil or because we want to annoy you. It's because we genuinely want to look after our men.
But I'm sure that none of the things that women do is to annoy us. I'm sure that when a woman asks, what are you thinking about? It's not to annoy us. when we're watching a film and something important is said and she says something, is not to annoy us, but it does annoy us.
So next time there is a a spot talking to us, people, we are going to leave it alone then.
Or you can say, would you like me to deal with it? Then it's a different matter.
So funny.
All right, next one. Women have a habit of, when they get upset with us and we ask, what's wrong? They say, you should know what's wrong. It's like they want us to guess what happened, and sometimes we genuinely do not know. Sometimes we've done something wrong, and when we ask what's wrong, we genuinely do not know. But it's like women have this thing that they want us to read their mind.
Not really to read our mind, but to remember what you've done. That may let me explain. If there are any men watching us at the moment, so that they can also understand this. Many times men do things that they don't realize are upsetting. A comment, be it a comment or lack of interest or lack of care, something. And we women, we don't like that. We like to be looked after, cared, loved, because we work hard towards our relationship. I speak for myself. I'm sure other women also. We work hard. We try our best to please our men. So if they don't show, how do you call it, this, if they don't seem to be happy with what we do, although sometimes it annoys you, like you say, I forgot what I was going to say.
And that's another annoying thing, right? That was actually the next point, you see, and we're going to keep that. We're not going to edit that, because this is the next point. You see that Helena said so many things that she got lost in what she wanted to say. And that was the next point. The next point is incessant talking, right? And it's not that women talk too much, but they do talk more than men, usually. Actually, men, the quieter things are, the better. For women, the more they communicate, the better. And you just saw their perfect example that it went a little bit overboard, right?
We just like people to understand what's going on. It's like this. Sometimes men, I speak not only of you, but I grew up with my brothers and my father, and it's the same thing. And
maybe she's going to get lost in the point she's going to make now again.
Stop it. But what I mean is this. It's like you guys tend to be very quiet, and we don't understand that language. Silence is a language we do not understand. So we tend to talk to make sure, get some kind of reaction from you, or try to explain a bit. Sometimes we over-explain things, but
it has to be said that it is very annoying, because sometimes you can say what you want to say in one sentence. One sentence is enough. Look at the logos that you see on TV, the slogans for adverts. It's usually a couple of words, and it gets the message across, right? And that sometimes is enough.
Some adverts you just don't get it, okay?
But usually you do. So anyway, so these are the things that annoy men. I mean, some of the things. We have more for the second part. But, like we said here in the last program, these are not things which will cause terrible problems in your relationship, in your marriage. But certainly, fixing these things is like fine-tuning an engine, right? Maybe the engine was running before, but now you can make it run more efficiently. You can make it run better. And that's what sorting out these little niggling things can make the relationship a lot better, right? We're going to go into a break. We're going to see what's happening in the world of celebrities, in their relationships, and we'll be right back.
On the 29th of April 2011, the world stopped to watch and celebrate the wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. On the same day, Kate Middleton was then converted into Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge. Since their wedding, the pair have been on quite a journey together, constantly in the public eye as the world's most adored couple. William and Kate have taken the world by storm together, and the public's adoration for them continues to grow. The couple is expecting their first child in July, and Kate has shown strength during the start as she was hospitalised due to morning sickness. On the actual day of her second anniversary, Kate was at work, visiting terminally ill children and volunteers at the Naomi House Hospice in Hampshire as part of the Children's Hospice Week. However, she and the prince put some time together to celebrate their mutually loving and supportive relationship. Chloe Green is now a distant memory from her days of appearing on Made in Chelsea. The heiress of Topshop is quite upset due to the abrupt end of her brief relationship with Mark Anthony. Chloe and Mark's relationship got very intense, and she had already even moved her stuff in his house in Miami. Mark Anthony was said to have been the one to take the tough decision to end the relationship. Mark and Chloe first met in 2009 when he attended a Topshop event. She is said to be devastated and has gone away with friends to take time to heal her broken heart. The Topshop heiress was said to have bonded with his children after spending a lot of time with them, with his oldest daughters just 3 years younger than her. Another reason could be that their 22-year-old age gap could have taken as a reason for their breakup. Mark Anthony is still said to be good friends with Chloe's father. So that's it for Celebrity Gossip. See you next week.
Hello and welcome back to things that women do that annoy men, right? And we had a very interesting first half, and we're ready for round 2 and some explanations as well. Although the ones I'm going to read now are not necessarily things that happen to us, but they do happen to other couples, and they're quite common. And the next one that men have said that really annoy them is when women start nagging, right? Why didn't you put that shelf up? You said you would do it yesterday, and they keep going on and on about it. I even understand this. I understand that women sometimes get frustrated because the man promises something and he doesn't do it. What women don't understand is that usually the more you nag, the less he wants to do things.
So tell me, what's the solution then for us to get things done around the house?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You see what I mean? So I think patience. You have to be patient, or you can learn to do it yourself.
Yes, I think if the woman tries to do it herself, he's going to feel so embarrassed about it that he will just get up and do it.
So that's something you can do, woman. Learn how to fix this and that, whatever you've been asking your husband, whatever you've been begging your husband to do, learn how to do it.
Yeah, and again, like I said, these are things now that perhaps we don't experience, but a lot of couples talk about these things, nagging, going on about the same thing again and again. And maybe it's the guy's fault. He just puts things off and never does them. But it is annoying.
Yeah.
Right? The next one, I really wanted to speak about this one because I've seen many people doing this. And the next one is when a woman compares her husband or highlights things in a husband or partner or boyfriend that she saw on Dr. Phil or Oprah. and she says, well, now I know why you do this. It's exactly what Oprah said. It's exactly what Dr. Phil said. And that's annoying.
Ooh, but why is that annoying? Tell us.
Because you're being compared to a show, to something that someone just made up and said, which perhaps is not even true.
Okay, so because it's not true, I would have thought that maybe the man doesn't like it because it's like, oh, now she knows why I act like this or like that, maybe.
No, it's because it's pretty bad being compared to a show, right?
Yeah, it's true.
It's like you watching the show. You know, this show, it's supposed to be constructive. Now, if you take one of the things we said here and you go to your partner and say, you see, now I know why you behave like that because James and Helena said in the show this and that. And that's not going to be constructive. That's going to be like a personal attack.
True, I understand. Never do that, woman.
So that's very annoying. Women,
I agree.
Beware. If you want to watch these shows for your personal development is one thing. If you want to use it as an attack, that's very bad. Something else that really annoys women or annoys men are these fad diets that come up every day, every week, and she tries the elimination diet. What other diets are there, Helena?
The carbs diet.
Carbs diet, Atkins.
The soup diet.
Soup diet.
I hear there's something new in Hollywood called, I think, air diet.
Air diet.
Or where you think about the meal that you want and then it's, you think in your mind, you convince your mind that you are full.
You just made that up, right?
No, it's true.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
that annoys men because the woman says, no, there's this new diet that I'm trying, and then he has to try the diet as well. Otherwise, she has to cook twice or he has to cook twice.
Well, I don't like dieting, so I don't think he's complaining about me. But yes, I think that I would have thought that what annoys men the most when it comes to fad diets is that the woman is always complaining about her weight or her weight, that she's getting big and everything, and then she tries many things, but she never goes through with any of the diets, and she never sees any results. So I thought this would be the annoying part.
And then, of course, when a new diet comes up and she says, listen, this is the one that I'm going to lose that extra weight, which perhaps the only person who sees that extra weight is her, because sometimes he doesn't complain. And he says, well, there we go again. This is just another diet to last a couple of weeks.
So I have a tip for men at home. If this is happening to you, compliment your wife, your partner. Tell her, you're not big. I like you the way you are. You see, communication, conversation.
In other words, talking.
Express yourself. She will not guess. A woman is already insecure, in herself. It's natural for a woman, unfortunately. But it does help when our partner, the boyfriend or the husband compliments her and says, listen, it's okay, you look nice, you're not that big, I like you the way you are.
Okay, but I want to talk now about the last one. We have a comment on Facebook which we'll read in just a second, but the last one that comes from me, and not that I've experienced this, but this is really annoying for men, and I've spoken to couples about this, is women's magazines that say 5 steps to get your man back, 5 steps to this, 5 steps to a better sex life, 5 steps to... This is really annoying because most of the people who write these things, they have a lot of problems in their own love life.
Many of them are not even committed, and honestly, I'm a woman, I like reading magazines more because of the pictures than anything else, because I know that many of the things, the contents are not right, are not true, but it sells. Women, I'm sorry women, I include myself in that one. That's why I'm going to say this. We like shortcuts. Sometimes, it's, easier ways of doing this, or getting your man back in 5 steps. The thing is, you build up a strong relationship when you sacrifice, when you do the right things.
But let's just say that these magazines are not your Bible. They are not your manual to make your love life work. If I were you, if you want to take them as a joke, as a joke, as a light entertainment, you can. Do not live by them. Okay, that's very annoying. And the last one, someone wrote it on our Facebook like this: I don't like when something happens between a guy and his partner, and she decides to tell all her friends about it, and I believe some things should be kept between just the two of them. Absolutely right. In fact, not some things should be kept just between both of them. Whatever happens between a couple should stay between a couple, unless you need counseling and advice, and that's the one person you open up to, because otherwise your whole life is there for everybody to know.
And this can actually damage the relationship big time. We've been talking about, kind of silly things, but this is something serious.
Absolutely.
And I know there's this culture, this thing, which, everyone has a best friend, but, there's a limit of what you can tell your best friend.
Exactly. What happens in a relationship should be sorted out and stay in that relationship. If you need external help, then it should be someone who will be able to help you, not someone who also has a broken relationship or just a family member. It should be perhaps someone who has the right attributes to be able to help you. Okay? Now, we went to do something very different from me. We went baking. We did that as a bonding exercise, and we want you to see how it went. Have a look. Hello, everyone, and you can see that we are here in our kitchen, and I'm going to be doing something that I don't really like to do, but this is what relationships are all about. You give and you take, and because Helena loves to bake, I decided to take some time to spend time with her doing something different.
There was a lot of persuading behind it.
Indeed.
But at the end, he decided to bake a cake with me today.
It's a different way for you to spend time with your partner if it's something that he or she likes to do. So we're going to bake a chocolate cake, right?
Yes. Let's get started. Yeah?
Absolutely.
So while I'm going to prepare the icing for the cake, James is going to beat the mixture for the cake and let's see how he gets on. All right?
What's going to happen?
That's it. Oh, you can break an egg.
This is the only fun bit.
Chocolate cake.
So that's it. That's a different way for you to spend time with your partner. Actually, you can take this and translate it to anything else, whatever she likes to do or he likes to do. Don't forget to do it for him as well. All right? We hope you've enjoyed it. See you in the studio.
And you get to taste the cake together as well and have some tea now. All right, see you.
Welcome back. You just saw me there in a very uncomfortable situation there, baking. It's not one of my passions at all, but it was a good bonding exercise. And today, it was nice seeing the other side of the coin, how women sometimes annoy men, but although these are not, deal breakers in a relationship.
I would even say that, people have this in mind. This is what I try to live by as well. People go through changes in their lives. You get to know someone in your teens, and then you get together with a person a bit later, and then the person, you mature together. I'm talking about couples. Or, people change. People do things that annoy one another. It's part of life. I mean, you get bad habits along the way, and then you talk about things, and then you stop doing it. It's not a big deal, like my husband just said. Just take things a bit lightly, if I can say so. Don't think big things out of it. Oh, he doesn't like me, or he doesn't care about me. Men are men, women are women. So all we can do is to learn to work together.
And you see, the great thing about looking at these things that women do that annoy men is that you will see that there is a connecting line between most women with these things. It's not something they learn to do, it's something that is ingrained in them. And here's the advice for both men and women. Men, see the annoying habits of your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, as something that you can even laugh about. Turn it into a joke. Let that be something together you can smile and laugh about. And women, although your guy may try to laugh about it, if you can shave off that annoying habit, even better. It will make the relationship even better. And remember, when he says that you don't need another fad diet, perhaps he's being sincere. You may want to listen to him, okay? Until next time, have a wonderful night.